What's up everyone? In today's video we are diving into CSS basics, things like width, text, styling, spacing, borders and sizing, and lots more. But don't worry, this won't be boring theory. We are going to build a simple project using everything we learn, and I will walk you through it on the screen. If you are ready to level up your skills, let's get started. So the project we are going to build, this is it right away. It is a simple page with beautiful colors and quite some good spacings and lots more. You see the arrangement and is nice, and the color combination too is nice. So we are going to build this project in this video, but before then, let's walk through the basics first. So I have some list of the topics or things we are to cover in this video. So as you can see, we have colors and borders, we have text styling, we have spacing, we have borders and sizing, which we have width and height. So let's get started with colors and borders and backgrounds. So I already created my index.html file and my style.css file, and I have opened them in my browser. As you can see, this is it. Though it's pure HTML, I haven't started styling it. So let me save and refresh. As you can see, this is a pure HTML. So we are going to start by explaining the colors and borders. So how do you, okay, let's link our HTML, our CSS first. Link href rel style sheet, then href style the css. So I'll close the link and save. So we'll talk about the colors. So if we say color, what do we mean? We already know what color is, and we all know that we give things colors. We change the colors of things to our desired colors. So first of all, let's try changing the color of this h1, which is a heading tag. So we are using external css, so I am not going to style my css right in the html. I'm going to do it external. So I already have my styles.css file out there. So the next thing I will do is either to give it a class or an id, or I should tag it directly with the element name, which is not quite nice, which if I have multiple of them, it will affect all of them. So the best thing I'll do is give it an id and give it heading, save it, take the name heading, go to my css. So if you haven't understand what we did right away, in the previous video we made in this channel, we explained how to use IDs and classes to style your CSS. We have explained what is internal, external, and inline styling. So we are using external styling. So I am using ID. So I would use the hashtag, the hash, then the name, then I can give it color. I can give it any color I wish. I'll give it red. So this is how to style a text to your desired color. As you can see, it has changed directly. I can give it any color I wish. I can give it blue, I can give it red, I can give it green, any color of my wish. So this is the first thing, which is giving colors to your HTML. So it doesn't only apply to heading and paragraph, it applies to anything that is made up of text in it. So we can also have a list. If you remember your HTML very well, this is an ordered list, so I can have multiple of them here. Book, or let's say apple, then we have orange, So what will I do? Let me just target the name directly, so I can give it UL. I'm not going to give the class or ID. I would give it directly. Color, I'll give it green. Save, refresh, and as you can see, the list is right here and the colors are applied. So this is all about colors. So let's dive into the background colors. So we are talking about background colors. So how do you change the background color? How what elements have can we change the background color of them? I think any element that has a width and a height and a space in it, you can change the background color of it. Let me give you a sample. If you take the body, this body is a tag because it has an opening and a closing tag. So, and you know, the body contains a lot of things, so it has a width and it has a height. Definitely we can even give it right away, and it has space because we wrote a lot of things in it. So what is the next thing? Let me target my body directly and give it a width of 100%, which will take the whole space of the browser. Then height of 100 VH, which is 100 view height. So we are going to view only the space up, from up to down. So we'll give it background color of red. Refresh, and as you can see, the color is not nice at all, because color is the red color it's never a nice color to the eye. So I think we'll give it light blue. It should be better. And I see, so this is a background color. So it applies to the body, the whole of the body, and all the text in it are showing. So it is not only applicable to the body. You can create a div, which all of you that have watched the previous video are all familiar with. A div is like a container in HTML, which is used for styling and to make our websites more nicer in looks and more. So here I can create this div and give it a class. I'll give it class of box 1. I can take some notes here. Let me copy this p tag p and put it right away. And then okay, this is not looking nice at all, so let me format it. So I think this should be better. This is the div up here, and this is the h1 we did earlier. So let's take the box 1. So we give it an id or a class. We give it a class, so we are using dot box 1. So we'll give it background color of red. I don't know, I like typing red, but I hate it. So let's refresh, and as you can see, it is there. And the p tag that was in it was completely taking the whole red color. So let me reduce the size. It does not look nice even here. Let's reduce the size. See if, and this is a little bit better. So as you can see, the div, as we've explained in the previous video, the div is a block level element. It takes the whole space it gets. So as you can see now, the div takes the whole space from here to the end, which explains a block level element. So what is the next thing? Since we've explored colors and background colors, so let's talk about text styling, which comprises of sizes, which is font sizes, font family, line height, etc. So I think I'll delete all of these things and leave my original structure. Then I would have a h3. I don't want a bigger text, so I can say hello world, the most popular sentence for every new or beginner programmer. So I'll delete this also, and I'll target only the H3. So after targeting the H3, I'll give it a font size, which means the ability of it to increase in size. So the font size means the more I give it the measurement, the more it increases, or the more I reduces the measurement, the more it decreases. So I will give it font size. So we are going to use pixel, which is a mode of measurement in CSS. We have other more mode of measurement like percentage, rem, em, pc, and pixels, and lots more. So you can check out a file in the description which explains all the measurements we have in CSS. So but for now we are going to go about with the pixel for now. In the next videos we will be talking about the rest of the measurements, which helps in responsiveness and other things. So but for now we are going with pixels. So I can give it let's look at it for now. So let me delete this. Save. Let's look at the size for now. So you can see the size, it's not big, it's not small. So let me give it a bigger size. Let's see, font size of, let's see, 100 pixels, and you know definitely it will be big. Refresh, and this is it. So I can give it 5 pixel. See, refresh, and as you can see it's very small. So let's go with the font family. So I'll give it 20 pixel, which will be normal. Then font family, which explains the family of the text. So font family, normally we can import from font families, and a lot of them in the internet, which would explain in the next videos as we proceed. We can import a better ones like Roboto, Poppins, etc. But for now, the default ones in the CSS we have is the sans serif. So let's try it. Refresh, and as you can see, the text family, like the font family, has changed, and the design, like the style of the text, has changed. So this is one. So we have the serif, I think, serif, and as you can see it has changed. So in the next videos we'll talk more about the font family, which will be able to import them from the internet, the Google font family, which is very nice. So the next thing we'll talk about is the font weight. The font weight shows the level of boldness of the text. So we have bold, we have bolder. So we can use bold, and you can see normally the text for the heading tags, the heading tags are already bold by default, but assuming we are using the p tag, if we give it a font weight of bold, it will become bold. So let's try bolder and see if it will make any difference. Refresh. Still, because the heading tag is already a bold text by default. So and let's go to the what is the next thing, which is the line height, which is used when we have lots of text. So let me give you a sample. Just come down here and have a p tag, then I will generate a lot of text. To generate a lot of text in your VS Code, if you have the extension, just write a capital L, and it will give you, then O, it will give you an option for lorem, which is a default text, a long text given. So as you can see, let's refresh. We have them here, and they are, so let's try copying them more. I think we need more. I want to show something, so not really. I want, so save, refresh, and they are here. So let's say this line height, the space from this text up and the one next and the one next is not good looking, like it's not nice to your eyes. So how do you change them? You target the element, you target the tag that contains the text, which is the p tab. Let's go to our css, then p curly brackets, then line height, then you can give it 22 pixel depending on your, and as you can see it increases the line height. So these are some of the things we'll talk about. We'll also use them in the project we are building. The line height, the font family, the sizes, colors and background colors, etc. So let's talk about the spacing, which is the margin and the padding. So the margin, just take it as the space outside an element. Let me give you an example. Let's delete this. Wow. So we'll delete this. Okay. So the margin and the padding, let's give an instance. What is a margin? The margin is the space outside an element or outside a box. Let's say you have a box, you have box 1 and you have box 2, and you want the box 1 to be 20 pixel far from the box 2. So that is a margin. It can be from the top, it can be from the bottom, it can be from the left, it can be from the right, irrespective of the side you want the space to be from. You can all do that here. So let's give an instance. Let's do it with div, one of my favorite tag. Let's give it box 1, the name is in it. Then we have another div which is box 2, then we'll give it an id, so we'll give it box 1. Here we'll give it box 2, id of box 2. Save, go back to our css, delete this, target all of them, box 1, box 1, we'll give it a width of 20, let's see, 50 pixels, 50 pixels, a height of 50 pixels too. The same thing applies to box 2. So let me give you a simple trick, or wait, I'm coming. So let's give it for box 2 here. So let's try it. So refresh, and as you can see, we are not going to be able to understand which one is box 1, which one is box 2, because there is no any mode of identification. We are just seeing box 1 and box 2, so you don't know the size of the box 1, and you don't know whether box 1 or box 2 has moved. So that leads us to the next one, which is borders and sizing. We've already talked about the width and the height, so we'll explain the borders and the sizing together with the spacing. So we'll give it the border to our css. Let's go back to our css. The border is also a property in css which shows a border, like some lines, space, like some lines containing, showing the size of the box visibly. So let's give it a border of 1 pixel solid. So I would explain what I just did, but let's refresh, and as you can see, it's there. Just give it same to this, border 1 pixel solid. Save, refresh, and as you can see, we have 2 boxes. So let me explain what I did. First of all, you give the border, then you give it 1 pixel, and you give it solid. So what do we mean by 1 pixel? We mean the thickness of that line. What if I give it 5 pixel, or let's say 10 pixel to make it great? What did you see? The thickness of the line for the box 1 is much higher, very high, more than the box 2. So same applies to this. I can give it 10 and we'll still have the same thing, and as you can see it's clear. Then what does the solid means? It means the solid means it is not having any kind of broken things or sort of things. It is straight and it's solid. So we have other properties like dashed. You refresh for box 1 and as you can see it has a dashed border and lots more. Then the third property there is the color. By default, if you did not give it any color and you leave it like that, it will go back to black. But if I want, I can give it blue, which will be there, and as you can see it's clearly there. For this I can give it red. Let me remove this. I don't know, I hate dashed. I prefer my solid. So save. And how does this look? It looks very nice. The combination is great. I don't know why. So what is the next thing to do? We are explaining the margin and the padding. So what is the margin? And as I said, the margin can be from the top, which is the space, like the space outside of the box or anything. So let's explain first. We have margin top. We have margin top. We have margin bottom. We have margin left. We have margin right. So we have to give the values for all of them. But if you wish, and if you want to give the margin top only, which is for box 1, so I can do it like this and I give it 10 pixel. Save, refresh, and as you can see it moves a little bit, which is not clear, assuming you did not pay clear attention. So let's give it 50. Sorry, 50 will be better. Save, refresh, and what did you see? This is the space outside the box and the thing clearly shows that. So let's give it for box 2, margin top, but let's say top, and say 20 pixels, so it will go far from there. Box 1. So how do you see? This is the basics of styling, and this is what we've been seeing in the live websites we browse. You see some styles, you see some things that we're like, wow, how do they make this? So this is it. So we can also give margin left, right. We can give it 10 pixel. So refresh. Sorry, this is right, so this is supposed to be left. Refresh, and as you can see it moves 10 pixels from the left. So let me give it 50 to make it clear. And what did you see? It looks nice. So this is the explanation of the margin. So let's go to the padding. The padding is the space inside that box, like clearly inside the box, not outside. So how do we explain this? Inside the box we have some text, box 1 and box 2. So I want to give the space from the top of that box. Let's take it for box 2. Let's give it padding. It is having the same styling mode. We have padding top, padding bottom, padding left, padding right. It has the same thing, just that it is different. This is outside and this is inside. So let's do it again. Padding top, let's say 20 pixel. Sorry, to the browser, refresh, and what did you see? The box 2 text from there moves 20 pixel from the top, and that is what the padding means. So let's say I have lots of text here. Let me duplicate this. And what did you see? This is breaking, but it still explains what we are trying to say. The padding is from the top and the spacing is inside that box. This is what has been confusing a lot of people going into CSS. So you have to pay clear attention to this. This is the space inside, while the margin is the space outside. So we can also give it padding left. Let's go to our CSS padding left. Let's give it 20 pixel, and same applies. So with this, we have come to the end of the explanation. It's the high time we build our project. This, as you can see, we have nice colors and we have heading, and as you can see, we are going to explore more about the layout, which is the margin, the padding, and a lot more. So let's dive into our VS Code. So the next thing I'll do now is clear all my HTML elements. So it is high time you start coding now. You follow me as I code. So what will be the first thing to do? So let's program like the real programmers. So the next thing to do is look at it. What do we have here? As you can see, the first thing that comes to your mind is the background color of the whole website. So what is containing the whole website? The body tag. So let's go back to our this thing, HTML and CSS. Let's go to our CSS, give it a body, and so what are we to do here? We give it a background color of, this is the background color I'm going to use for the body, 0f 172a. This is a hex color. So as you can see, if we go here, the whole of my website is fully filled up with that color. So what is the next thing to do? I would like to have the font family to be sans serif, and then I would like the padding from the top. So you see, as we are building this project, we are learning more things. So as you can see, this is the shortcut way of writing a padding. If you want a padding from the top, bottom, left, right, all at the same time, without you writing padding top, padding left, padding right individually, this is the simplest way of writing it. You just write padding, then you give it 30 pixels, which applies to both horizontals and the verticals. I hope you get what I'm saying. And we want all the colors by default, which means all the colors will be white by default, but we can change them. So the colors by default will be white, but naturally the colors are black, so we have to make it white by default. So that means every element inside that body tag will have a color white. This is what it means. Every element that has text and is inside the body element will have its color white. This is what it means. So I think we are pretty done with the body. So the next thing to do is create our heading tag. So we have a h1 and we'll write learn CSS the right way. So for my own mode of designing, I like if I write a single HTML and I go back and design. I don't know, for some people would like to finish all the skeleton, which is the HTML, then go back to design. So I would write the h1, I would give it text align. See, as we do this project, we learn a lot. What is text align? It means the position of that of a text tag. So it can be left, it can be right, it can be center. So for now, from the screen we have the heading tag being in the center. So we'll give it a text align center, then the margin bottom, which will be bottom margin, which the space below be 30 pixel, and we'll have its color of a hash coming 38 B D F8. And this comes to another aspect of design, which is the explanation of about how to write different types of color. We have, as you can see at the very beginning, I was writing the colors in letters, in normal words that we know: blue, red, green, pink, purple. But as you can see now, I'm writing letters and numbers combined. So these are different way of writing, are different ways of writing the colors. We can write it this way, we can write it with normal words, we can write it with HSL. Let me try, let me show you. HSL, which is hue, is a combination of some acronyms, which is hue, saturation, and lightness. We have RGBA, which is combination of colors too, but you write the numbers. You can give it 10, you can give it 20, just combination. So it means red, green, blue, and the opacity, something like opacity for the combination. So as you can see, RGBA. So this is it, but for now we are going to use the hex, which is the combination of the numbers and the letters. So what is the next thing to do? So we are going to design the simple hero container up here, which is this build real website. This demo shows how color spacing and text styling can turn plain HTML into something beautiful. So what am I going to do? I'll go back to my index.html. Below the h1, I would have a div. I would have a h2 in it. Call it build real website. And then I would have a p tag which shows this demo shows how colors, spacing, and text styling can turn plain HTML into something beautiful. So as you can notice from the design, this beautiful is having a separate color. So how do I make it? And this whole text is in one tag. So how do I make that? If you can remember, we did something in the previous video. We've explained something about span, which is a tag. So I can give it a span tag here, which would then we'll give it a design only for that span. So this is a logic which you have to be always thinking about. So we can write the beautiful here, beautiful, and also I'll give it a class so that I would be able to target it in my CSS. So I'll give it a class of highlight. And then I will give the div, which is the container, a class of hero. So I think let's go back to our CSS and design this. So the first thing to do is target the hero, which is, I gave it a class, right, which is class hero. So I'll give it dot hero, then I'll give it background color of hash 020617, and then I would give it a padding. Same applies, padding from all angles or from all sides, 25 pixel, and I'll give it a margin bottom of let's say 30 pixel, and then I'll give it a border left. And let me explain something here. in the previous part of the video, to explain border, and what we did in the explanation was giving all the sides the border. So in this aspect, we are only giving this left side. As you can see, this left side has a border, is a border actually, which has a separate color. And how do you target only the left side? You do border left, and let's say we give it 5 pixel solid hash 38 BDF8. This is space here, so this is the right thing. So let's try looking at our code that we have been building. Refresh, and as you can see, we are almost there. So the only thing remaining now is the card that is below. So let's go back to our HTML to design the card. Let's go back here and give it, let's create another div, then we give it h3. What you will learn. So, and we have some list, so we'll make it a list ul, and we'll have some list li. So we have colors and text, colors and text, and then we have another one which is spacing and layout, and then we have the last one which is real world styling, real world styling. So let's give this our card a class. We give it a class of card. So let's head back to our CSS and design our card. It's a class, so I'll give it dot card, which is the card, and then I'll give it a background color first, which is hash 02. Sorry, I don't know my keyboard. 02 and then 06. I already have the color, so I'll click on it. Then padding, which will be padding from top and left, right, bottom, which will be 20 pixel. Then we'll have a width of 300 pixel. The card has a long width. Then a border of 2 pixel solid. I think I have the color 338. I already have it. So, and also the text inside, which is the h3. If you can remember, there's a h3 inside the div. So what am I going to do with that? I want to have the text to be aligned center. So what should I do? I would say card. So this is a mode of targeting a specific element under a certain tag. So if you notice something, let me explain how this thing works. If you notice, this h3 is inside this div, only inside the div. So I want to target only this h3 to make the style to work only on the h3. How do I do that? Only on this h3, and the h3 is inside this card tag. So be very careful. Make sure that that element you are going to tag, like for example, now I want to tag this h3, and this h3 must be inside this div, which is a card. So I have to do it like this, dot card, then h3. This means that this h3 is under this card. This is what it means. So I'll give it a text align, center, and margin bottom. So the margin bottom of 25 or 15 pixels will be better. So save. Let's look at what we have been programming and refresh, and as you can see, it looks quite almost the same, just that there is a space here and the way I've written the text here is different. So let me go back to my index and remove this. It should be CO, and then target my LI, and then as you can remember, there is a way we did it in our previous part of the video, line height. So I'll give it a line height of, let's say, 22 pixel. Refresh. I think I'll add it, let's say 30, or not 25 would be better, or let's say 24. Save, refresh, and it's clear. So as you can see, we've tried and we cloned in similar project we have here, just that it is not pixel perfect, but we've tried our best. So I hope you've understood a lot in this video, and I am hoping that you subscribe and like the video, as we are going to release more videos till the end of our CSS classes. So thank you for watching the video. Please like and subscribe, and also do check the description for the file or about explaining about the measurements. So thank you guys.